Are we to expect a good open game of football then on Saturday, Andy? But so we know that Whitby play a good bit of one-touch stuff, certainly going forward. So should it be quite a good football match?
I think it's all going to depend on the pitch, Andrew. To be honest, as you know, Matlock, it's not the best pitch in the world at Matlock, and you know it's taken a bit of a battering over the last weeks and months and what have you with all the bad weather. But you know, I've seen Whitby about half a dozen times this season, and I think apart from the 4-0 defeat at Stockbridge in the cup game, you know, I've been impressed every time. We've got some really good quality players. You know, Ackworth and Beadle, that they'd get in any side in this division without a doubt, and Andy Campbell up front's another threat, of course. So yeah, I think it's got all the makings to be a really entertaining game.
Well, one Campbell you won't be seeing on Saturday, Andy, is David Campbell. He's missing out on Saturday, so there you go. That's probably a little bit of a boost for you guys. Now, and also the Matlock Jinx is what you call it at Whitby, because we have still never won at Causeway Lane. It's never happened.
It's always the first time, Andrew.
That was Harry Dunn's exact words, but yeah, I think it's going to be a tough one. You guys have a very good recent record against us, home and away. We've only got 2 wins in 10 against Matlock Town, believe it or not, Whitby.
Yeah, there's been some good games over the years, hasn't there? You know, one that springs to mind is that game, I think, where we were playing in his lime green home kit. I think you were in bright orange.
Oh, crikey!
I think was it 5-0, 5-1, something like that, on a cold Tuesday night.
Yes, yeah. Thanks for mentioning that, Andy. I appreciate that. Yeah, no need for floodlights that night. Two teams who play in blue normally. One went for a luminous green, the other went for a luminous orange. So there you go. Could be picked out from space, I expect. But yes, there was a good game earlier in that very season, actually, Andy. And I think it was the one that you really meant. It was a 9-goal thriller. I remember Whitby went 2-0 up with very little time left on the clock. Matlock came back, forced extra time, in which you won 5-4.
Absolutely, that was an absolute thriller. I think did Lee Nogan score that day?
He did, yeah. Player manager Lee Nogan that day for Whitby Town. Yes, he scored the 4th goal for Whitby. You know, he thought it might be a winner, but it wasn't to be. That was an amazing game. I remember Matty Appleby, the then Whitby captain, made it 4-4. I should say Nogan scored a 3rd goal. Appleby made it 4-4 in the last minute of extra time. Yeah. Only for, I believe was it Tom Cahill who.
That's right, it was. Yeah, now at Fleetwood.
Yes, I think he had a hat-trick that day as well, didn't he, Andy?
Yes, I think he did it. Yes, if I remember rightly, that's right, he did.
So there you go. Yes, often a thorn in the side, Mr. Cahill. So
I think there's one thing that you can always guarantee with Whitby and Matlock is goals.
Yes, there you go. We're about to jinx it now, Andy. There has never been a goalless draw between us. Never ever. So there you go. In I think it's 17 games there we've played altogether. But yes, there's never been a goalless draw. There's only been 1-0. So there you go. And that was back in November 1997. So I don't know whether you remember that one.
I don't actually remember that one, Andrew. No.
This was back in the 1st division of the Unibond League. It was Whitby's promotion season. The great Paul Pittman.
Oh yeah, the Whitby legend.
Yes, indeed, with the winner there at the Turnbull Ground.
For all the latest news, full details of all our fixtures, match previews and reports, simply log on to our club website at www.whitby-town.com, your site for everything Whitby Town.
So yes, Ross Hanna's one man to look out for. Now you've also got quite a familiar figure at the centre of defence by the name of Lukic, nephew of John Lukic, James Lukic. He's a bit of a folk hero in your neck of the woods, isn't he?
He is, Andrew. Yes, he's a good friend of mine. He's James as well, and we lost him last season. He went to Gainsborough Trinity to try his hand at an high level up. Didn't quite work out for James, and obviously everybody were absolutely delighted to see him back at Matlock. He's an absolute rock in that art of defence, and everybody loves him to bits at Matlock Town. And Yeah, he's been playing with a cut on his head the last few weeks, so he's had the headband on. He's looked a bit like the old Terry Butcher. But, I think that's typical James. Is Matlock through and through, and we're delighted to have him.
Is there anybody else that we should look out for on Saturday, Andy?
I don't want to say too much.
I didn't think you would.
To be honest, Mark might not like me to say anything, but. We're strong all round at the minute. Like I've just said, we've only conceded 2 goals in his last 5 games. We've had a lad, Nathan joins us from Guiseley. He'll no doubt will be up front with Ross Anna on Saturday. He's come in. He's looked strong. He's held the ball up. Steve Warren and Lane King in the centre midfield. They're doing really well at late. So. At the moment, we're looking solid all over, to be honest.
I was going to say, Andy, I do remember Steve Warren scoring a brace earlier on in the season at the Turnbull in a topsy-turvy game, the first time our sides met this season. Whitby going ahead early on through Jed Dalton, and then a brace from Warren, and it took Tony Hackworth to steal a point for Whitby in the end. So they're always hard to predict, these games.
Yeah, absolutely. Going back to that game, I think we could have been 2 or 3-0 up in the first 10 minutes or so, to be honest. And we come back fighting second half, looked like we were going on to win the game, and Aki brought it back to 2-2. So like we said, let's hope it's an entertaining game Saturday and we get plenty of goals.
Absolutely, amen to that, Andy. Now, and finally, and I think this is probably the main question that anybody from Whitby will want me to ask you. What's the weather like there?
It's wet at the minute, Andrew, to be honest. Dad actually went over to the ground this afternoon, and he had a quick look inside, and he said the pitch didn't actually look too bad. I think the weather forecast tomorrow isn't good, to be honest, so... I think it's just wait and see, but from what my dad said from going over today, it looks okay at the minute, but we'll have to wait and see.
No mention of the S word, is there, Andy?
Not as yet, no.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
The last thing you guys want is obviously a postponement and coming all the way back over to Derbyshire on a Tuesday night, which is not ideal.
Or a Thursday night. We have terrible memories about Thursday night football. It will never happen again. It will never be allowed to. Yes, we've already got Retford to come down in April. So there you go. So looking forward to that. I think that's attempt number 4 to get that game played. Yeah. But floodlights, weather, hail, tidal wave, whatever, conspiring against us.
Anything can happen at Retford.
Okay, Andy. Well, and as you're the man in the know down there, what's the admission charges down in Matlock this season?
It's £7 for adults. I'm not a concession anymore, Andrew, so I'm not sure what it is for concessions.
Oh, okay.
But, Matlock's still one of the cheapest grounds in the Unibond.
Absolutely, yes. So it's good. We won't be paying £12 at this one, unlike certain teams, probably in the Lincolnshire area, ex-football league.
Yeah.
We'll say no more than that.
No.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Andy, and I think good luck would just be disingenuous, but we'll certainly hopefully look ahead to a very good game played in a good spirit.
Have a safe trip.
Thanks a lot, Andy.
Thanks, Andrew.
Andy Duffin presenting the Derbyshire point of view there ahead of Matlock Town versus Whitby Town this Saturday. Just a word on the admission prices. It's £7 for adults, £4.50 for children and OAPs, and children with a paying adult will pay just £2 to get in there at Causeway Lane, and the sat-nav code /postcode for those travelling independently by car is DE43AR. There you go, ahead of Saturday's trip to Matlock Town. I'll see you there. We'll be back next week with the Codcast. Good evening.
Premier League Radio in a Premier League city. Sunderland.